Hi everyone, my name is Aurora and welcome to this video. Today I want to share with you my whole shoe collection, the whole 30 pieces. I know that's quite a lot, but can you really have too many pairs of shoes? I don't think you do. Unfortunately, almost all of them are fast fashion or some variation of it. Only one pair at this moment is second-hand. There were other pieces before, but I had thrown them out because they were kind of useless beyond the point of even trying to repair anymore. But I try to make up for it by wearing those fast fashion items as long as they hold. And you will see that some of the pieces are more than 10 years old, so there's that. Let's dive right into it, shall we? So, since it's winter at this moment, I want to start with boots. The highest boots that I own are these lovely beauties made of suede. They are fast fashion and I got them 3 years ago. After, let's say, 5 years of search, I do have quite thin calves, so it was quite hard for me to actually find a pair that suits my body type. And then I finally found them. Unfortunately, they were fast fashion, but after so many years of searching, I just went, well, you know what, I will just make up for it by wearing them a lot, and I do every winter. This is the first winter that I don't, but I don't wear any of my shoes lately because I don't leave my house anymore. Well, anyway, the only other pair of high boots are these beauties that I got last winter. I got them in a fast fashion store because I received a gift card from there from my family for Christmas last year. So I thought to myself, well, at least I'm gonna get something that will last. The funny thing is that a week after I bought them, a YouTuber that I follow, Ashley Brooke, actually made a video on how she is so pleased with those boots, and I was thinking like, okay, yeah, good thing that I bought them last week, because now I probably wouldn't, because I would think that I'm buying something just because an influencer is showing them or YouTuber. But I got them before that. I can definitely say that it was my decision. Okay, so the next pair that we have is also a fast fashion piece. These suede boots are 3 years old. I got them in my first year of university. Actually, my mom got it from me. They're kind of rough around the edges, as you can see, but I still wear them. I think I'm gonna literally just color this bit so it doesn't show internet leaking or anything, so we're fine for, let's say, 2 more years, fingers crossed. Next, we have these shiny vinyl shoes that I got 2 years ago. I was eyeing shoes like this for 4 years before that, and then one friend at college got them, and I was like, wow, where did you get them? And she's like, well, in this fast fashion store. And I'm like, oh, damn. Yes, I'm not gonna buy them, but then in the end I actually did because they were just too lovely to pass, and they're super comfy. You can literally walk hours on end in them, and I can spend like 12 hours in them and my feet won't hurt, so that's great. Next, we have the latest addition to my collection, these lovely beauties, also fast fashion. I blame Best Dress for this because, I mean, they are quite similar to this pair, but they are light colored. I don't remember the last time I bought a pair of shoes that was this light, and I'm terrified to ruin them with stepping in a puddle or something like that. So I don't wear them a lot if I know that I'm gonna walk a lot. Next, we have these lovely beauties. This is from my grunge phase in high school. I got them in a third or fourth year of high school when I was visiting Vienna with my friend for Christmas time. I saw these and they were on sale for like $10, so I had to get them, if nothing, to remember that free buy it. But I did spend like the whole senior year of high school in these every single day. Even when I was volunteering or something like that, I was wearing those. But the last time I wore them was 2 years ago when I was going on an exam, and there was this huge winter storm happening, and traffic collapsed. I had to walk, and ice got into the soles, and I just fell and broke my knee. It started bleeding, but I still had to go to that exam. So I was like hoping around the city for almost an hour to finally get there, and I was late. But fortunately, I wasn't late for the second exam that I had that day, so I went there, and the professor was like, is it okay if I ask what happened to your knee? And I was like, well, I fell. And he was like, okay, well, you know what? It really shows your passion for college. It really shows that you're determined, and I'm gonna give you an A because of that, even though your knowledge of the subject was for B. So I was like, yeah. So I was very pleased with that situation, even though I didn't wear these afterward because I was scared that the same thing is gonna happen again. Because I couldn't walk for weeks, so it was kind of horrifying. Next, we have this pair. I got them 5 years ago when this style of shoes was all the rage. I don't know if you remember that, but I didn't wear them much. I mostly wore them to theater or something like that because they are really uncomfortable. They have this super weird heel that goes in here. I don't know what's happening. I don't know, I just don't want to part ways with it yet. I think I'm going to soon, but not just quite yet. Also, this ankle part is quite wide. I hate my ankles in general. I think they look super fat. So shoes that have this wide ankle part are just not my friend. Next, we have this pair of cowboy boots, the only pair of second-hand shoes that I have at this moment. I got them 4 years ago when I was second-hand shopping with my friend, and I love them. They're super comfortable and warm, but they do have a heel that is so damn loud. I try to even make buffers for them, but nothing helped. I mostly wore them last year when cowboy boots were a thing. Next, we have my Dr. Martens shoes. They are more than 8 years old at this moment. I was asking my parents for Dr. Martens shoes for years, but I didn't want to buy them because they are quite expensive and my legs were still growing at a time. I finally got them in first or second year of high school, and my parents made me buy a pair that is one size bigger than my shoe size was at that moment. They thought that my feet is gonna grow even more. Fun fact, my legs didn't grow after that, and these combat boots are still around half a size to one size too big for me. But that's okay because I just wear two pairs of socks. It's winter time after all. But the first year I got them, my parents were like, well, these shoes were quite expensive, so you better wear them out. And I took that advice literally. I wore them every day for a year, even in the hot of summer. When there were 40 degrees Celsius outside, I was wearing shorts and tees. Then I just got tired of them a bit and started buying other shoes. As you can see, I have a lot of. But that isn't the only pair of Dr. Martens shoes that I have. I do have another pair. These are around 15 years old. They are hand-me-downs from my cousin. She also begged her parents to get her Dr. Martens shoes for years, but when they actually got them, she wasn't very pleased with them and she got tired of them quite quickly. Then they rotted away in her basement. They even had mold on them and everything, and then they gave them to me. I cleaned them, but I never got a chance to actually dye them, so they're quite ugly, as you can see. But skin is super soft. They're originally made in England, which is quite hard to find with today's Dr. Martens shoes, and I wear them every day during walks with my dog in winter. That would be all of the boots that I have. Let's jump into the Oxford shoes. I have two pairs of those. Firstly, I have this beautiful pair that goes quite nicely with my pullover here. I love them so much. They are statement in the same time because of the soles, but they are quite toned down, so it pairs well. I just love wearing monochromatic green outfits with these shoes. I got them in first year of college, and the first time I wore them I was going on my first ever exam at college and I was late, so I will always remember that. And the second pair of Oxford shoes are these beauties. I also got them in first year of college 4 years ago. They're a bit less comfortable than the last pair, but they are black and more uniformed, so I wear them when I want to tone down my outfit just a little extra notch. Next, we're gonna go in the realm of sneakers. When I was in primary school and in high school, sneakers were all the rage, and I wore literally just them until I got those Dr. Martens shoes. So let's start with the oldest pair that I have at this moment, and those are this. I got them from for my PE because we had to have equipment, and I still have them. I wore them for those 4 years, 2 times a week. I wore them for 2 years at college, 2 times a week for PE, and then I wore them until last year for walks with my dog. Until my mom saw them and she was like, you can't have sneakers that are 8 years old. What will neighbors say? So she got me another pair. She got me these modern looking shoes that are super, super light, and I now wear those instead because they're easier to, put on and put off, which is something that you need when your dog is like, we need to go pee now. Anyway, I have another pair of sneakers that my mom got from me. She got them at her store too. Knockoff Converse shoes. I really digged that red Converse shoes type of thing. I wanted the original, but they were too expensive, so my mom found those and bought it for me. She also got a pair for herself. I think they are around 6 years old. Yeah. As you can see, it doesn't even say All Star, it says Sport. It's such a knockoff that they're not even trying, but I totally don't care. Except for the red Converse shoes. I also wanted high all black Converse shoes, but they were even more expensive than the red ones, so I couldn't get them. Instead, my parents got me this pair of fake leather Converse at a fast fashion store for a few bucks 8 years ago, and I love them, but the only thing that I don't like about them is the fact that when you do this happens, and also the ankle part is too wide. Just the same problem with those boots I mentioned earlier, so I wasn't very happy with that. So a year later, my parents got me these. Those are also, I think, fast fashion. I'm not quite sure, it doesn't even have a brand tag or anything like that. As you can see, they're not quite black anymore because they're 7 years old, but they're super comfortable and I used to wear them a lot. But my heart was still aching those high all black Converse shoes. So 2 years ago, I finally got them. Of course, they are knockoffs because I still do not have enough money to buy myself originals, but I quite love them. They look like original. Nobody has to know that. Nobody looks that with so much attention to your feet and goes, oh, is she wearing fake Converse shoes? She can't hang out with us. I mean, who does that? If you're around those kinds of people, get away from them, okay? You don't need that kind of negativity in your life. Just be you and wear whatever makes you happy, okay? And that would be all regarding the sneakers. Now let's jump into fancy shoes. The first pair of fancy shoes that I'm gonna show, this is one of the first pairs of fancy shoes that I got, let's say 7 years ago. I actually got them so I could learn how to walk in heels. I mostly wore them at home when I was learning, I was literally just wearing those and walking around the house, repeating the things that I had to know for, let's say, history exam or something like that. 7 years later, I still don't know how to walk in those. I only wore them once outside of the house, and I was walking in the middle of the town square when my heel just popped. The shoe stayed on the on the sidewalk. It was literally a Cinderella moment, but my anxiety kicked in. And I was, no, everyone will remember this. I can never wear those shoes again. So I didn't. But I still have them because they hold a sentimental value for me, and I just love looking at them. They're the first pair of pretty shoes that I ever got. So there's that. The next pair is the pair that I got in second year of high school when my uncle was getting married and I was a bridesmaid. I had to find something that had a heel, but not too high and not too thin, so I could actually stay on my feet for 12 hours straight. And I did. In situations when I know that I need high heels, but I know that I have to make myself stand in them for 12 plus hours, I always turn to them, even though they are out of fashion, out of style, and quite ruined. Maybe I should get another pair. Next, we have this lovely pair. I got them 4 years ago as a birthday present from my roommate, and I love them. They're beautiful, they're super sophisticated, and I just feel powerful when I wear them, but they're super uncomfortable. You can't stay in them for more than 2 hours or your feet will burst. I literally mean burst. These things go around your calves and they just start to dig in after a while, and you can literally have cuts from those. And also the heel is 8 centimeters high, which is a bit too high for me. I would prefer if the heel was 6. I think that's the perfect height of heel for me. Okay, so a little bit less extravagant and a little bit more everyday type of shoes. We have this lovely pair, fast fashion again, but I got them 2 years ago when me and my partner were on our first ever journey outside of our country. We were in Austria, and I went to one of the biggest fast fashion stores in the world for the first time ever, and I just wanted to get something to remember that experience by. Anyway, these are super comfortable, even though sometimes I do get bruises from this, and this tends to slip off a bit, but when you get used to them, you can walk around in them for a whole day just fine. Next, we have these kitten heel shoes. I love them. They are fast fashion, but they will always have a sentimental value for me because I got them as a treat for myself when I got my first ever A in a college exam ever. My first ever college exam, I have to note that. I love them. They are a bit uncomfortable. They have this part that digs into your heel here, and sometimes you can get bruises from this. But they're just so super cute. Little kitten heel is so super adorable, and I love them. And I think that I will always have this pair, even when I stop wanting to wear them as much, just like I did with that other pair of the blue heels. Heels are not always too comfortable to walk around with, and you still want to look polished. So a few years ago I got this pair of flats. Those were my first pair of flats in like ages. I stopped wearing those in primary schools because they thought that it made you walk funny like a duck, and they were just outdated and not fashionable enough for someone like me. So I stopped wearing those. But then when I got into college, I found those. They were super cheap because they are fast fashion. But I love them so much. I love wearing those on jeans because it just brings something unexpected into the outfit. Even though they are not super comfortable to walk in after, let's say, 5 or 6 hours in them, you could get a little bit hurt with them. I have another pair of flats from the same fast fashion store. I got these slippers a year ago when I was starting my second student job. I was in office all day, I had to commute to the work and back. It took me like 12 hours from the moment I left my house in the morning until the moment I finally came back. So it was totally out of the question for me if I'm gonna stay in high heels all day. So I wore high heels to work and back, and then in the middle of the day I would slip into these. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them now since I'm not working anymore, but I'll probably just save them. And the last category of my shoes are sandals. First, let's start with high-heeled sandals. I have these bad boys. They are super comfortable. I can literally walk all day in them, but as you can see, some of the elastics don't have a give that I used to have, and I almost broke my ankle a few times in them. So I kind of stopped wearing them until I figure out how can I make those elastics a bit tighter so they actually stay on my legs. For that reason, 2 years ago I got another pair from the same store that I got the last ones because I wanted that same feeling of platform sandals. They are made from leather and they are quite sturdy, so they won't have that problem that the last pair had. But they have another problem. They hurt like hell for the first few times that you wear them until this part just shapes in the form of your leg and lets you breathe a little. But I love them. They just, you can wear literally anything. They have like rocks in this. You can literally wear them with anything and it will just make the whole outfit pop out. Next, we have flat sandals. My first pair are these. I got them in an outlet store 6 years ago, let's say, and they are breaking apart. I mean, they're literally breaking apart, okay? And I still wear them for walks with my dog during the summer, but I don't think they are appropriate for public. So I bought another pair this summer. I bought these bad boys. These are gladiators. I love them. I wanted this type of shoe for years. You can tie them around your calves, just like that pair of high heel shoes that I had, but these don't dig that much into your skin because the strap is a bit wider. I love them so much, and I think I'm gonna wear these for years to come because I don't see a way how this can actually go bad. And plus sizes and the plus side of the story is even though they are fast fashion, they are made in the neighbor country of mine. I just wanted to empower the women who work in that factory by actually purchasing those shoes, even though I know that most of the money won't actually go to them. I just want to show to the CEOs of that company that yes, those things that are made locally are of much higher quality than those things that are made on the other side of the world. And the last thing that I have are my everyday sandals that I got in primary school in a gift shop when I was going on this excursion with my school. I have this Mickey Mouse pair and I have these. For the love of me, I couldn't find the second shoe. I have no idea where it is. I mean, it is somewhere here in this house. I know that, but I just can't find them. I hope they will pop out before the next summer comes. And that would be all. Those are all of my shoes. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this was entertaining for you to watch. I wonder how big is your shoe collection? Please let me know down in the comments down below. And thank you so much for liking this video and for subscribing to my channel at all. I'm so amazed with all the views and subs that I already got, and thank you so much for that. It really makes me want to create more and express myself more in this way, so thank you for that encouragement. It really means a lot. Okay, so I will see you some other time then. Bye!